What's up, everybody? Jimmy here with another tip of the week. And today we're going to look at Moxi Impress, specifically the open house flyer and how easy it is to create. And if you stick with me through the entire video, at the end, I'm going to walk you through to how to use Canva and add a QR code to that specific open house flyer so you can give a little call to action as you're leaving it behind or dropping off around the neighborhood. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we need to go into Moxi Impress. And for this example, I'm going to pull a listing off of MLS. For those of you that have listings, even though you have an open house scheduled, the open house flyer does not automatically get created for you. They create a few other different projects for you, so you probably still want to follow these instructions anyways. If you do have a listing, you can go right into projects. You can create a new one and follow the steps, but I'm going to walk you through how to pull a listing in and make an open house flyer. We're going to start by clicking on listings, and then from there, we're going to come over here to our view shared listings. Now, again, if this is your property, when you click on listings, you'll actually see a list of all of those properties that you have listed, and you can go from there. And then from this, what we're going to do is as we search and we find it, we want to actually click the property address that we're holding the open house at. Once we click that, we're going to wait for this to load up, and there's a few things that you can do in here. You've seen other videos where we've gone and created an entire marketing kit that has social media, videos, single property, web pages, things like that. But in this case, we're specifically looking for an open house flyer. So from this page, I am going to click on Create Project. Once this loads up, you're going to be able to see all the different types of projects that are actually available. And there's a lot of pages of these because this is all projects that are available for this listing. So we're going to filter out 3 different sections to make it easier to find the flyer that you want to create. First is we're going to go here to where it says product. We're going to click on that and we're going to go down to flyers because we want to make an open house flyer. Next up, we're going to go to where it says task right here, and we're going to switch that to open house. And then finally, on the agent contact, we're going to choose, because I'm doing this by myself, we're going to do a 1 agent. As you can see there was options for 2 agents or even a team that you can actually pull it up. And here you go, boom. These are the 4 options that are readily available for you in Moxi Impress for an open house flyer. I'm going to go ahead and choose this first one on the left. I'm going to click on it and then select design. Now this next section here might take just a few moments once we title this and then actually pull in all the photos, but let me walk you through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to name it. Typically you want to put the address in here, and I like to put open house just so I know what it is. As you scroll down, you want to make sure that it goes in the correct folder. You may have to create one if you don't already. I'm going to use this for a marketing folder I have, and you probably want to tie this to the MLS. Or to the property. And then finally, you're going to see here, you can either search to the MLS address or ID, or you can see here that it has already been chosen here for me, so I'm good to go. So when I save and continue this to go to the next section and hit confirm, it's going to actually pull in all of the photographs, everything from MLS, and create this awesome flyer for you. And this is probably what takes the longest out of this entire example I'm showing you today. Now, once it actually does and pulls in everything, you're going to come to this page here, which, by the way, on the top here, you have info, photos, text, and contacts. You can jump between these whenever you want. But as you see here, we're on the photo section. And the thing to look at with any of the Moxi Impress projects is on the left-hand side, you can see what the layout is. So you know exactly where these pictures are actually going. So in this case, we have 4 kind of aerial views of this property. And I'm going to want to actually adjust this a little bit because there's so much more to this property than just an aerial view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these first 2, and then I'm just going to hit this little swap button here, just like we do with any other project. Go to project photos, and I'm going to swap this out for a couple other photos. So once they load up, you want to go ahead and you want to pull those photos in, pick the ones that you would like to add to this, and you can go down and tweak this every single time as much as you want, or you may want to just leave this the way it is. Now this is taking a moment, so I'm not going to go and swap these photos out right now. But once you have swapped out the photos, you want to hit save and continue. Next, you're going to come to the text option of this, which is going to call out the open house. It's going to have the address. And then what you're going to have down here as you scroll down to the bottom is you're going to have a couple things. One, you're going to see with this specific one that there's some additional features here that we probably want to pull in. So my recommendation on this is go to MLS. Let's pull up this and let's pull up some of these features of the property and go ahead and add them. Now, I'm not going to add every single one for this, but take the time to go in and add 4 additional features. Then the last piece, which is the part of view 3, which if I scroll back up, you're going to see view 3 is going to be right up here. We want to put the dates and times. So you have 22 characters you can put in here. You could always put Saturday, 6/14 at 11 a.m., whatever you'd like. And then the end time down here, let's say it's 2 p.m. and save and continue. Last step here is going to be your contact information. Just make sure that's all correct. You can also make sure it's correct every single time by going to your profile and adjusting that from there. Once you have completed it, that is going to be it. Once we hit continue and save, you're going to notice here, I'm going to go preview it real quick just to make sure that all the changes that I added came through before I download it. And you can see here, once it loads up, as you scroll down, it does say preview across the whole screen, so you aren't going to print from here, but you can see the photos are there. You can see time of the open house up here. You can see where I did add in the additional feature, in this case, put all of them in there. So I know we're good to go. So technically, you can stop here if that's all you need for your open house, and we're going to click download, and I'm just going to go ahead and download the standard PDF right here. Once this gets downloaded, click this button. Boom, our flyer has been completed. If you're not going to add anything else like a QR code or things like that, you can go ahead and print and go. Very, very quick, very easy. Again, let's not worry and spend all that time on the marketing aspect of a flyer when it's already done for you. Now, what I am going to do, as I said, I was going to spend some time to show you how to add a QR code to this. So we're going to use Canva for this next section. So let me go ahead and bring Canva in. And what we're going to do is we're going to log into our Canva account, and you can use this as a free account. You don't have to pay for the pro. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here on the home page, and I'm going to upload media, choose the file, which is the open house here. And this is going to actually pull up the PDF and bring it into a project for me here. So you can see everything is already done the way that it was from Moxi Impress, but all I really want to do is I want to add a QR code. So to do that, this is going to be pretty cool. I'm actually going to delete this here. I'm going to move something up right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my website, and I'm going to send them to the property information and more photos on my actual website. So in this case, I go to my website. I'm going to search for the property. Oops. So I'm going to find the property here, let it go ahead and pull up. Click on the property, and you can see this is the property here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this share button here, click on link, and click copy. All right, because I want them to scan this and go to my website. So once I've copied that, I'm going to go back to my Canva project where I'm going to add the QR code. I'm going to scroll down on the left until I get to apps. I'm going to type in QR code generator. And I'm just going to choose this one. This is a free version here. And then I'm going to paste my QR code in there. And you're going to see it pop up. Here's my QR code. So I'm just going to actually drop this down just a little bit smaller. Put it right over here. Then I'm going to go to the left here, and I'm going to click text. And I'm just going to do add a subheading. I'm going to move it next to it, make it probably a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put something like scan here to learn more. I can make that a little bit bigger if I'd like. Okay, so I can leave it like that. Or what I like to do is I am now going to click on element. I'm going to search for arrow. And I'm going to grab this arrow right here. Change the size a little bit. and make it however you would like to. Maybe I want to drop it here, pull this up, whatever you decide you want to do kind of on this standpoint. It's really up to you. And I'm just going to actually switch this to red. So now I've added a QR code. I've added a kind of call to action as I'm dropping this off or leaving it behind or giving it to the attendees at the open house. So all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to share this. I'm going to download it and make sure it is a PDF and download it. And that's your tip of the week. Just walk through how to make an open house flyer in minutes, along with adding a QR code in Canva for a call to action if that's what you decide to do. And that's your tip of the week.